all doing today. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
us.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Great view.
Yeah, listen, the matte painting that we do here at Collider is fantastic.
Such a high
Yeah,
def,
it is great.
high def screen you've got behind us.
We don't mess around at Collider on matte paintings. We learned from Lucasfilm, all the painting. Anyway,
Yeah.
enough of my joking around. So I want to start by saying I saw the first 2 episodes of the show and I thought they were fantastic. So well done, production design, acting, cinematography. It's just one of these really, really well done shows. And I want to get into all that, but it's so, I think, the show is so timely, and it's dealing with, and I know it's very personal to George, but I think it's just such a timely show with what's going on in the country, and I wanted to know if you could sort of talk about that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, it just makes the drama that much more compelling. It ups the stakes, and a big hats off to the entire production team that were so dedicated to the authenticity in the research of everything that happened, and the costumes and the hair and everything, and it made it so much more important for all of us on set. We're telling an important story, but we're creating drama at the same time that I think is going to really grip a lot of audiences, especially of the horror genre.
Yeah, I mean, this happened 70, 75 years ago, and many people doesn't even know that this happened, like many people are not aware. Even when I cast for this role, I didn't even know this happened. And we're just repeating history, we're just doing it again and again and again. And we need to learn what we have done before in order to change that, So I think it's a great moment, obviously, to tell this story. And I think people are gonna feel connected to every single character.
Well, as Cristina says, this is still a story that's little known. And so actually this series I see as a hopeful series, because if people know this story and they learn about it while they're very young, that's the age when people are absorbing information, and they'll keep it through the rest of their lives. The fact that we have adults today that don't know this story reflects on the nature of our population, American population, and that's why it's happening again. I'm hopeful because when this happened to us, every politician, in fact the whole country, was swept up with war hysteria and prejudice against us. We looked like the people that bombed Pearl Harbor. But when Trump passed that, signed that Muslim travel ban, thousands of young Americans rushed to their airports all over the country to protest that travel ban. And lawyers went to the airports to offer their services pro bono to immigrants coming in. And the Deputy Attorney General of the United States, Sally Yates, said she will not defend this executive order. So Americans have learned about it, but not enough Americans. And by presenting this story as an entertainment and compelling, spine-tingling entertainment, more people will know about it. And my hope, and I think the hope of the show, is that the more Americans that know about this story, that outnumber the kind of people who support our current administration, our hope is that this won't happen. They will vote against it. More and more people are learning about the Japanese American internment, as demonstrated by the reaction to Trump's Muslim travel ban. And hopefully, because this is such a new low that we've reached, when children are being torn away from their parents and put in cages, wallowing in filth, their own excrements. I mean, it's disgusting. And enough Americans now will know that this must not be happening in our name as Americans. Americans are better than this.
I completely agree 100% with what you said. I also think that a lot of times people, for example, like Holocaust movies or Holocaust stories, I think those should be told every year to just keep on drilling down that this happened in the past, and we need to always remember. And I'm thankful that this chapter in our history is being told, as you said, using entertainment to sort of tell the story. I am curious, though, making a show like this, what's the energy like? I'm going to switch gears a little bit. What is the energy like on set making something like this? Like, was this a super fun shoot? Was this super challenging? Because making any television show is a whole bunch of work.
It was not fun. Imagine yourself in Canada in January,
It looked cold
February,
when I was
and
watching it.
March. It not only
Challenging,
looked
for sure.
cold, it was bone chilling.
Challenging.
Our bones were chilled to the marrow, frozen cold. And we were filming outdoors and on a made-up frozen lake. We had to fake that frozen lake when they had real frozen lakes all over the place. It was not fun.
Challenging for sure, but gratifying because we're all out there battling the elements together, and we're making a special project, and everyone's coming and bringing their top game because we know how great the writing is, how great the whole team is, and yeah, we were just on a mission to
This
produce
is the
some great
optimism of youth. The reality for this old man was horrific.
Right. I'm curious, how have you been describing your character to people? Because
character?
yeah, like what are you allowed to say about your character?
So my character, I play Yuko. She is a mysterious young Japanese girl who moved to Terminal Island from Japan. She has a deep connection with this guy Chester and Ruth and everybody, and also Yuko is the Terra. I had to put special makeup on every day, 3 hours before we start shooting. It was really hard for me.
So you also agree with George, it was a challenging shoot.
Yeah, but I had so much fun though. Like everybody asked me like how do you feel when you shoot horror film, like horror movies and stuff? Because it sounds scary, but it wasn't really scary like when we were shooting.
You were the scary part,
Yeah,
that's why.
and we became a family. Like
Yeah.
we really became a family,
Yeah.
and that makes the show so much easier. I mean, you go to work every day with your family, then it's like we're having fun. We're doing this, we're doing what we love, and plus we're telling an amazing story. So what else can we ask for, really?
Sure. The thing
April, May, and June, it was fun.
I will say though, so I'm watching, I want to say it's the first episode, and I had to do a double take because I noticed something in the background, which I wasn't expecting. In the background, so you really have to be looking. Is there a lot of that in the show? And I guess this is for people that are watching. Watch the background.
Yes.
Yes.
You can't take your eyes away because you might
Yeah.
miss something for
Yeah.
sure. Yes.
Right. Is that all throughout the series, or
I think
Well,
yes.
even like not only the background, like background of you, too. Like you have to watch out like everything.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Yes, I do.
I have to say, the massive scope of this show, first of all, to deal with the story of the internment. There have been a few movies, a few television shows done on it, but never 10 hours, over 10 episodes, that's aired over a 10-week period. And the detail with which the story was told. This was an impressive production, and I think we're all proud to be associated with this. This is a groundbreaking production.
As I said, I mean, in all seriousness, I thought it looked fantastic. Just everything about it in terms of the way the story's being brought to life. My last thing for each of you guys, because I'm already basically out of time, but what's like a day or two that you will always remember from the making of this project? Whether it be a super challenging day on set, or whether it be just an awesome day for whatever reason.
The day I'll remember is they built a whole internment camps, many barracks, about a quarter of normal internment camps, with the barbed wire fence and a tall, ominous sentry tower. And there were hundreds of Japanese Canadians and Chinese Canadians and Korean Canadians as extras. Massive numbers of Asian people holding, carrying their suitcases and duffel bags and other packages, and all marching into that internment camp. That was the day we were freed, I think, going out from the barbed wire fence. And in that shot, I just kept looking at the sentry tower, because I remember that as a scary place where people were aiming rifles at you. That scene was massive, and it was done on this huge scale, hundreds of extras.
Yeah, that was powerful.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things. I wish I could say one, but it's a huge spoiler. Yeah, so I won't say that one, but I think, I mean, the cold weather. We shot actually snowing, like it was snowing, and we were shooting, So that was, and you would only have a jacket, because I mean, it didn't have enough money to have more, So that was tough. But you would always have to remember that someone went through this, someone lived this, and just use that to really show it, and people feel connected to it.
I was back to the weather, when we're trying to depict, hot summer, and it just starts dumping snow on you. I've never experienced that before, but we all weathered the elements and created something fantastic of high quality that everyone's gonna enjoy.
I completely agree. I really mean it sincerely. I cannot wait to finish the show. Thank you so much for coming by our matte painting, and seriously, enjoy Comic-Con. Thank you so much.
Thank
you
you.
so
Thank you so
much.
much.